Sometimes a single act of compassion can change the course of a life, as a pair of strangers in Detroit, Michigan found out on the freezing afternoon of January 18th, 1994.
The temperature was extremely cold. I think the wind chill was somewhere like 40 below. It wasn't the kind of weather that you'd be walking in.
Sandra Harvey was on her way to pick up her 9-year-old son, Darren, and drive him the 3 miles home from school.
I was at the supermarket, and I was late. When I got there, I didn't see my son, and that's when I started to worry. I couldn't see him nowhere, so I had called my grandmother, and I asked her, did he show up there, and she said no. She told me to go to the police, and as I was going to the police station, I said a little prayer.
71-year-old Rush Yarnell happened to be driving home on Connor Street.
I observed what I thought was a child in the snow, and it was just as if he was trying to draw attention. Oh, my God. I do believe that was his last effort. And I made an abrupt U-turn. Naturally, there was people there that weren't too happy with me, but let's say I hadn't stopped. I couldn't have lived myself if something happened to that child. But when I first approached him there, he was face down in the snow, lifeless. It was a pitiful sight.
Oh, my God, it's a
I tried to talk to him, nothing.
Can you hear me?
He had no gloves on. One shoe was off. His school books were strewn in the snow. And I never touched anything so cold in all my life. I thought I was picking up a corpse. That got to me a little bit.
On duty at the 9th Precinct that afternoon was Detroit police officer Sylvester Mitchell.
Imagine, if you will, a piece of meat that you would leave in the freezer overnight. That's the way his fingers were. I mean, they were just totally frozen, purple to black in color. In fact, it was sort of an eerie feeling to actually hold his hand. That in itself sort of melted my heart.
Minutes later, Sandra came into the same police station to report that her son was missing.
William, what happened?
Who are you, ma'am?
When I came to the precinct and seen him up on the counter, and when me and him got eye-to-eye contact, then that's when I broke down in tears. The EM man was telling me that he was close to death.
Oh, you're welcome.
Of course, I hugged her and tried to convey to her that it was just a normal thing that a person should do.
Yeah.
It was quite an emotional scene.
Is there anything I can do to help? Don't be afraid to yell.
She couldn't seem to stop thinking it's okay.
Okay, Mom, you can slide over here.
When we actually got to St. John Hospital, they immediately started putting his feet and his hands in some lukewarm water, and his hands blew up like balloons, both of them. How you feeling?
Plastic surgeon Joanne Levitan was brought in.
Darren developed very large blistering on his hands. They required debridement, but it improved remarkably. And he has gone on to regain complete function in his hands.
I got pretty scared because I thought that they was going to cut my fingers off. I was crying. I didn't want to lose these fingers because when I grow up, I would like to be a basketball player because my mother said that I should be a basketball player because I look like one.
Take it easy. How's he doing?
He's doing pretty good. I will always appreciate Mr. Yarnell. You know, I have a special place in my heart for him. That's the only son I have, and I just thank God my son is alive. And I thank God Mr. Yarnell stopped and did pick him up.
In the years since the incident, Rush and Darren have grown close.
Had he not stopped, the little boy would have froze to death. The weather was bad. The neighborhood was unfamiliar to him. And he didn't have to stop, but he did.
This is the actual car of the President of the United States assassin.
It's touched me very much so. There's no question about it. There's a reason that this little boy is going to go on. And I want to stay close to that child the rest of his life as long as I live anyhow.
So we say this is a North American V-25.
He's a joyful man, and sometimes I pray at nighttime and I say that he's my hero. And I thank him for saving my life. If it weren't for him, I won't be here right now.
Give him a big smile. That's the way to do it.